This is Never Down, Never Out with T.R. Matson. This podcast is about discipline when motivation fades, resilience when things get hard, and showing up when quitting would be easier. No hype, no shortcuts, just the mindset required to build something real. One day at a time. Let's get into it. Welcome back, everybody. T.R. Matson here. Never down, never out. Hope you're having a fantastic morning. Really appreciate you tuning in. I'm feeling pretty good today. I'm not going to lie. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to shoot you straight. I'm feeling pretty darn good. And I don't know why. And that's okay, right? There's going to be ups and downs. I always want to be authentic. I don't want to make stuff up because I think people see through that. I'm feeling good. I don't know. That's it. If I ever figure out why, I'll let you know. But feeling good. Appreciate all the support. Thanks for tuning in. You're sticking with me. That's pretty cool. And it's been quite a ride. One of these days, maybe I'll do some comments that I get or something, just to give back. I don't know. To me, the whole plan was just these topics, 10, 15, 20 minutes, whatever it ends up being. But that was before I was actually into podcasting. So maybe we adapt, who knows? But for today, we're going to stick with episode 47, why you must control your environment. Well, it's simple. Because if you don't control your environment will control you. Thanks for tuning in. I'm just kidding. I'll expand on it. I'll give some examples. For people that haven't heard the throw up story in the aircraft, right? Great example of controlling my environment. Okay. I'm going through my early flight training. I'm getting sick on every flight. I can't stop. Sometimes I have to give the controls to the instructor. Sometimes I could gut through it. And I realized, hey, I can control what I can control. And that's it. That's all I can do. And what can I control in this aircraft? Well, if I know I'm likely going to throw up, then at least I can have a plan for when I do. Maybe I won't throw up. Maybe that'll calm me down. I don't know, but that's what I could control. And then when the moment came and I knew where the bag was and I knew where the eyeball vent was that was going to open the bag, and I had taped the zip tie on it so I could do it all one-handed and shove it back in my pocket while I'm flying. I took control of what I could. I took control of my environment. So now I own it. Did I still throw up? Damn right I did. Upside down. That's a box I did not think I was going to check in my aviation career. That's for sure. But I was still in control. I never had to give up the control to the instructor, and I passed the flight. If I had just gone into it doing it the same way that I've always done it, 50-50, depends on how bad I felt, right? If I didn't feel too bad, maybe I could gut through it. If I felt really bad, I was going to give up the controls and I was going to fail my flight. Those are my choices, right? Whether I realized it or not at 20 some odd years old, I was learning a very valuable lesson on I either can control my environment or my environment is going to control me. And frankly, there was too much at stake on that flight. I had to take ownership of it. I had to take control because if I didn't, I might not be in aviation. It's that simple. I mean, we were down to the end at that point. I had to pass that check ride. I didn't have a choice. So I controlled my environment. Have I done that in other places? Absolutely. Was it as dramatic as throwing up upside down? No. I've learned little things even with this podcast, right? Noise canceling headphones, recording at certain times when the family's out, or if the dog is here, hopefully get her to sit off camera so it doesn't distract if you're one of the people that's actually watching this. I've learned those things, right? As this progresses, if it continues to progress, I will also change the office, and things like that. Who knows? Maybe I'll have a booth or something soundproof or something. Who knows where it makes it easier? I don't know, but I'm going to take control of that environment. I have to, because this is the environment I work in. Flying even to this day in the airlines, right? I mean, sometimes I go longer, sometimes I'm flying a whole bunch. It just depends on the schedule. It's very dynamic. But when I get to the plane, that's my plane. I've got to own it, right? I'm in charge. People are looking to me to see what we're going to do, to see how we're going to handle situations. It could be very mundane. It could also be very dynamic, and I have to control it. So I do things every time, much like a lot of pilots do, the exact same way. I'm taking control of my environment. I'm controlling what I can, so that way when things come at me that I can't control, I'm ready for them. But if I don't take control of that environment from the start, now I'm behind. Now I'm on the defense. So it's critical that in whatever situation we're in, whatever we're working, we have to do everything we can to control the environment around us. Because if we don't, you are just a bystander. You could look at it this way, and maybe this is a better way to explain it. You could be proactive or reactive in any given situation. And if you're proactive and you control your environment to the best of your ability, we can't control it all. Nobody's expecting that. But if you could control your environment to the best of your ability and you're proactive and you're prepared, then you are going to be able to handle the changes and the dynamic things that come your way. If you aren't proactive and you just show up and you're not prepared and you haven't thought these things through and you haven't set things up, now you're reactive. Well, guess what? When things go wrong, and they will, you are now on the defensive. You are constantly going to be reacting to all of the things that have gone wrong. And when you do that, you are not going to be as efficient. You're not going to be as successful. It's just the reality of it. We would often, when I switched to flying F-18s, we would train air-to-air fighting, dog fighting. And we would set up these training situations differently, but the people that were good at it went in with a plan. They controlled everything they could, the closure rates of the jets, how close we were together, the speeds we entered, all of the things. But when you're learning, you don't know those things. And I remember a situation where I was fighting my commanding officer, and it was an early flight off the ship, the first launch. It was we called it the BFM cycle. You just go for 45 minutes, rage around, fight each other, and then right back to the ship. And I'll tell you, I was going to hit the merge, and I had a plan. And I knew what I was going to do. And as soon as we hit the merge, I rolled the plane upside down and pulled and went nose low. Now, anybody who's flown fighters knows that's going to hurt. And my skipper knew that too. And he said it on the radio on TAC. He's like, "Oh, I remember it." And it hurt. And I thought I was in control, and I was not. And I pulled the max G's on that plane all the way around, and I got my butt kicked. Well, I thought I had everything lined up. I thought I had a plan. I thought things were set up. I thought I was in control, and I wasn't. And sometimes that happens. But I promise you, it would have been worse if I had showed up to that merge and I had no plan whatsoever. And I learned a lot from that fight. One, nose down at the speed I was going was probably not the smartest tactic if I wanted to defeat another aircraft. Two, you have to be careful when you think you're in control and you're not. because that'll get you. So it's almost better to know you're not in control of your environment than it is to think you are when you actually aren't. So we have to look at our situations that we're putting ourselves in, right? Whether it's the classroom, the board meeting, work, your home life. And you have to be honest with yourself on what you are actually in control and what you're not. I can't 100% control my kids' feelings because they're kids. They can't control their feelings. How could I control them? But I know that. But what I can control is how I react to things, right? And there's times I have to be stern with them because they need that. They need those boundaries. There's other times where I need to be loving because they're going through something that's bothering them that they don't even understand, and that's rough. So again, understanding that environment and then setting up that environment in a positive way helps me be a better dad. So this can be applied to everything. It really can, but you really do need to understand the environment you're operating in, whether that's combat, whether that's a relationship, whether that's your small apartment by yourself. It doesn't matter. Whether it's in a car driving to work, know the environment you're in and control as much as you can, but know the defining line between what you truly do control and what you don't. And if you could do that, you could set yourself up for a better situation. You'll be more proactive. You'll be better equipped and ready to handle when things change. And ultimately, you'll be more successful. Sometimes it's as simple as cleaning our desk, like I've talked about. And this space right here, I control. And if I can control this space, I've got a shot because I can log in and I can record a podcast. And I can talk to you all about controlling this space. But if there's stuff everywhere and I'm not sure the website and where is my microphone, did I charge my headphones? I'm not going to be successful. So take a look at what you're working in today. Take a look at everything you're doing. Take a look at the environment you're working in. And think to yourself, am I in control? And if not, can I be more in control? Will that help me be more successful? Thanks again for tuning in. Till next time. If this episode helped you, don't just listen, apply it. Progress is built in what you do after the message ends. Remember, never down, never out. I'll see you tomorrow.